Welcome to another episode, everyone. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. Wallo, the individual that's connected with the dude Gilly, he did 20 years in prison. He's highly successful now, rich even. He's here. This is deep. This is a deep conversation. He's talking to T.I. Tip, the rapper, on his podcast about how he survived 20 years in prison. And it's real deep. But do you all care about this, or do you just want to hear about Crip Mac getting knocked out? Let's see. Probably don't care about this, but this is important. This is very deep.
What made you take the path of elevation and like evolution of consciousness?
I was scared, Tip. No, I'm just being straight up.
Hey man, that's some honest shit, bro.
No.
That's honest as hell.
Listen, so Tip, when you go to prison, you scared.
Yeah.
The greatest way to make it through there is stay out of dumb shit and get your head in some books and educate it.
That's real.
You know, so it was like, I'm in there, I'm like, okay. One thing, you know, the myth of prison is like, from seeing the TV, that somebody just gonna magically fuck with you to fuck with you.
Right, yeah, nah.
The only way they gonna fuck with you if you're around the wrong crew, if you want some dumb shit, or if you do some dumb shit.
How you carry yourself will be a representation of what comes to you.
So me, I'm like, man, I'm scared to death in this joint because I'm 17, they certify me as an adult. See, in Pennsylvania, that's how they do you. And you gotta do a day on the day. Yeah. So it's like, I'm scared to death. I'm like, shit, I gotta stay away from all dumb shit in here.
Right.
Motherfuckers walking around with knives longer than a elephant's trunk. I'm like, man, I don't want to get none of that. I seen people get stabbed, hit in the head. I'm like, I'm just gonna be this good in my cell, reading my books, minding my business, going to the law library, hollering at the old heads. Because one thing about prison is like this. Prison got some of the greatest professors in the world.
This is true. Because
you got some OGs in prison that's never coming back, that's not gonna let you sit in their face and not educate yourself and go out there and be something.
And they gonna pass down that information, that knowledge that they have.
Yes.
And they ain't got nobody else to pass it to.
Yes.
So you know what I'm saying? They have to give it to you. You know what I mean? They feel like that's their purpose in life, to give you that game.
Isn't that the truth? I've spoken about this before. You know, I've done over 30 years of incarceration myself, unfortunately. And there's nothing glamorous about it. It is nothing to glorify. There are indeed OGs back there with a wealth of knowledge, and they impart this knowledge to the individuals coming through there. They don't want to see us coming back and forth to prison. These individuals are never coming home. A lot of them have been in there for a very long time, and they feel like they're doing a service. Their life has meaning and purpose. The life that they have left behind those bars before they pass away, their life has meaning when they pass on this knowledge, when they impart this knowledge to us coming through there. As Tip alluded to, they don't really have anyone else to get a knowledge to. They have built this knowledge over the years, sitting in prison, reading, and just life experience itself, even though it's life behind bars, you still end up with a lot of experience and you learn a lot as you get older, as you mature. So these individuals have been in there for so long that they are incredibly smart. And they try to lace us up about how not to come back to prison, what the law is like, etc. And it's just on you as to whether or not you're going to accept this knowledge or not. Many of us do not, and that's why the recidivism rate is so high. We return to prison because we did not take heed to the individuals who were trying to let us know what was what.
And that was my thing. My thing was like this, Tip. My thing was like, man, I'm going to get all this knowledge because, and it's not just in prison, on the streets. For those that's watching, some of the greatest teachers you're going to get is older people, especially successful ones. You sit down, you could be around them all day. They're going to tell you everything because they ain't got nobody to talk to a lot of times.
When the student is ready, the teacher will teach.
They're going to teach. So I was in there on that time and I was like, and I seen the dumb shit was going on. I seen dudes getting high. I seen dudes going crazy because they on psychotropic medication.
Yes, Tip, that was heavy. When a student is ready, the teacher will teach. Did you catch that? When the student is ready, the teacher will teach. True words indeed.
To try to escape the bit. And I was like, man, I ain't doing that shit. I never did a drug or drunk, so I'm like, I ain't doing no drugs. I wasn't trying to hustle. I was in the kitchen, so I'm selling shit out the kitchen. That was my hustle.
Yeah.
But I wasn't getting in the drug game, or I wasn't. Listen,
you weren't gambling no shit like that.
I think a lot of people
play the tickets.
No, I paid tickets, but that's different. Tickets is different. I didn't play. Listen, and
how many times you hit?
Probably like twice.
20-year worth of tickets.
I probably hit twice because I was an over and under dude. So I play, you got to pick 4 overs and numbers, and I always like to pick overs.
All that shit they doing right now with pride.
They've been doing that shit. 30 years ago, man. In the penitentiary.
That shit been in the penitentiary.
They had the tickets. You get the ticket, you circle up.
Yeah.
So the whole twist is like, I was one of them dudes that was like, I seen a dude get hit in his head about their spades. To this day, I don't know how to play spades, man.
What?
I said, I don't never want to learn how to play spades. Fuck that.
Hey, hit the nigga in the head with the...
Yeah, man, he hit the dude in the head.
With the blade?
No, he hit the head with a lock and a sock. And, and it was like, I was like, oh man, that game ain't that important to me. So I never learned.
Me and my old lady serious about this shit.
That spade shit ain't no joke. That's why everybody be like, man, you was in jail, you know how to play spades. I said, I never learned. It wasn't worth it.
So you ain't play nothing in jail?
No, I played checkers.
Checkers?
Hold. Let me explain something to you. The old head's got the big master board of checkers.
What you mean master
like,
board?
That joint, it ain't the regular size. It's like bigger, and you got a bunch of pieces, and you jump backwards and forward. Like it's a crazy. Once you get the double king, it's a crazy game. So I used to play with the old heads with that because they old heads. They not young boys.
So you ain't get into the chest. You ain't get the chest at all.
I ain't even getting into that either. They get rough about that too.
For real.
So I said, fuck all that, man. I'm not dealing.
I
with
ran
it.
the poker table.
Poker, that's money. That's a gamble. You was gambling.
Yeah.
That's the big gambling table.
They had passed my time.
The gambling, that's gambling. Yeah.
Yeah, I lost, man. I lost a whole bunch of days just sitting at the poker table.
Yeah, they be there from sundown.
The time they pop that lock.
Yeah.
Lay my blanket on the table, get my chips.
Yup.
That's how I did my time. Okay, so
yeah, and you'll find a lot of individuals over there at the poker table. I learned how to play poker a few years before I paroled from prison, and I started playing poker in prison. Then I just stopped gambling altogether years before I left prison, though, because it's too violent, it's too dangerous. You get caught up, even if you have the money and you can pay the money, when you lose, it's just still normally a problem somewhere, somehow. You'll be told really from the beginning 3 important rules of what not to do in prison. One of them will be gambling. You are free to do it, depending on who you are, what car you are, from, etc., whatever the rules are on that particular yard. But it's a double-edged sword. It can end up being a bad situation, the gambling there in prison.
So you go in there and you educate yourself. Did you have in mind what you wanted to do when you got out?
No, see, I just knew I wasn't coming back to jail. I had a lot of stuff, but one thing that really where I got a lot of game from was Anthony Bourdain. I was in jail watching Parts Unknown, No Reservations, and A Layover, and I seen Anthony Bourdain, and that was the first time I ever got on a plane in my life was with Anthony Bourdain. I was watching, I was like, this dude. And I'm like, this dude used to shoot dope. I mean, he used to be on Heron. He got his life together, was a chef, New York Times bestseller. And he just went around the world. So I used to sit there and watch his shows religiously. And I was like, hold up. Like, it's a big ass world out there? Because I go down before the phone.
Right.
So you got to think about it.
What year you went down?
1996. So you got to think about it. You got to think about it. Before the phone, everything was prehistoric. So when you go into prison, you only know from the day you went. Right. So it's like the fact that I'm looking at this, I'm like, what, this dude all over the world, man. We could go all over the world.
Yeah.
And then when dudes come into prison, and I'm getting new game, because I used to have this thing called the Book of Life where I write anything down. Like when people come to jail, I will interrogate about the free world. Like what's going on? So when dudes telling me, yeah, man, I went to here. I said, how you do that? How did you get on the plane? Man, a credit card, man. I got the credit card. You got a credit card. So I'm just writing anything down so I can research them when I get out. Because I'm like, I'm trying to learn about life.
That?
Yeah, I still got the Book of Life. They seen that. I seen it on Instagram. Everybody know about the BOL. Yeah, everything is in there. I wrote everything down. Damn. So it was like, I would ask people questions, and I used to be amazed because it was like everybody coming in, but everybody coming in talking about the street shit. I was like, I know every street story already. I know every street lie. Yeah. I heard every tough dude story. I heard every money getting story. I know you had, all right, man, I know you had a purple Bentley helicopter out there, man. All right, cool. You had all the money. You had all the drug money. Fuck it. I heard all them joints.
But you got a public defender.
Yeah, you know them boys. I mean,
you had all the money, got a public defender. Yeah. Okay, cool.
So I knew that. So I'm just like, that information.
A purple Bentley helicopter. Damn. Dudes out there balling. And dudes in the penitentiary, boy, they be on the street balling. Let them tell it. They had a purple Bentley helicopter. Wow. Shit. Even Jay-Z ain't got that.
Information was the most important thing that I learned from Anthony Bourdain was that the hood lack exposure. We don't see outside of the hood, so we don't see the possibilities of who we could become. So I'm looking at Anthony, I'm like, all right, when I get home, it's on. I said, when I go home, I'm going everywhere I could go, man. Bus, train. And one of the places that I wanted to come so bad was Atlanta, because I said, and I'm going to tell you why. Every show that I watched in jail, after it went off, it was shot in Atlanta. It was shot in basically down Georgia, because the Georgia Peach come up.
Yeah.
Every credit. So I'm like, it's popping down there, man. I'm looking at the reality shows and all that shit. And I'm going to tell you, man.
Yeah.
The first chance I get, shout out to my brother Saif, for my brother from another mother. He was living down here, Alpharetta, Georgia. So
living good.
Yeah, my homegirl Nadia was from Philly. She was living down here too. So she came through Philly one time, do some hair. She came through the block. She's like, Wallo, come down to Atlanta. I was selling these shirts called Is Always Money in Philadelphia. He's like, get some done and say Atlanta. I said, all right, cool. So I said, I'm gonna come down there. 2 weeks later, we drive from Philly to Atlanta, and I was on Peter Street, right there next to, she had a store, a consignment store right next to Pee Wee Longway Studio on Peter Street. Peter Street was jumping. 2017, that shit was jumping.
That shit was like Beale Street.
It was everything. They had the restaurants down there. This before 2 Chainz even had this restaurant. It was a cigar shop right next to a joint. It was hairstyle. It was popping, right?
Talking about like 255
pizza stores, clothing lines.
Slice.
It was jumping. So listen, I'm down there. I'm like this, and I'm like, I never forget. I was writing my old celly a letter on Peter Street, and I was just describing this shit. I was like, yo, man. And right across the
hold up, so you was still writing your celly?
Yeah, my celly chip.
You still keep?
No, I deal with him through the West now. I paid his lawyer. He ready to come home.
Okay.
He ready to get out of jail. I paid the lawyer nice. So he's on his way home as we speak.
Bro.
As we speak, he's on his way home. As he speak, I paid about like $45,000 for him and his brother. They sell me. They coming home.
Both of them coming home?
Both of them coming home. They was on the same case.
What got him out?
This lawyer paying the lawyer.
I'm saying, so wait a minute. So you saying they just been sitting there just because they didn't have enough money to pay
No, they was already in the court system filing this shit, but they had a court appointed attorney. Yeah. So I came and got the real. When she told me I came and got the real boss.
So is it some loophole shit? Or?
It's like loophole shit. Like, they wasn't tried correctly.
Right.
See what I mean?
Right.
I don't, with the crime, I ain't really get into that, but it's like they wasn't tried correctly. But whatever the case may be, I'm on Peter Street.
That's good. Shout out to Wallo, man, keeping it real, reaching back out to his old celly, writing him letters. Tip, though, you just write them, you still in contact with him, that's cool. But yeah, not just that. He went off and got him a lawyer. Him and his brother. It's crying me or what have you. $45,000, that's cool. If you're rich, you came up, you got it. That's what you should do. You don't have to, though. That's why it's a shout out to him. No one owes you anything, regardless of the situation. So he's still loyal to his people, to his celly, staying in communication with them, and it's about to give him the greatest gift of life, which is freedom. After you've been in there inside a prison, you'll understand that freedom is the best thing that anyone can have. Good man there. And I'm going to dig a little bit deeper into Wallo. I've seen him before on YouTube, just like telling a prison story, like during the interview. I don't think that's what the interview was about. He just happened to, come be telling a certain story briefly or something. I remember seeing that clip some time ago, some months ago or something. So I knew he had been in prison and all that, but I don't really know his story other than some of the things that I'm hearing now. But apparently, whatever he's done, I don't know if he's maybe you all can tell me in the comments. I don't know if he's a musician or a manager or whatever. But whatever he's doing, he got out and became pretty successful, clearly. That's the goal.
Sitting there is jumping. People went, and I wrote him and I was describing that shit because right across the street, it was like VH1 studio or something. I had to see a bunch of people from the reality show going there.
Right.
So I'm telling them, like, yo, man, you remember Homegirl? I just took a picture with her. I'm ready to see you. Because I'm like, I'm just, the thing that was about me is that I never I never lost my imagination, and I never became cool in prison. I never killed the fan in me, meaning I didn't think I was too big for the program as a fan. So when I seen somebody, I gave them their props and I saluted them, and I need to take a picture. Like,
Right.
come on, I gotta send this back up. So I'm standing there, and one of the dudes that came by, my man Carbon come through. Carbon 15. He pulled up on me because he knew Gil. He bought and he buying the shirts for me, and it was crazy because he was the first one to buy a shirt and just give me conversation. He brought a couple people through. He drove me around a couple places. I'm like, damn, man. And me and him became tight because that day that he supported me, it was like, damn, this dude. And he just showed me different things in Atlanta. He's like, no, go here. And one time he took me to he had took me to Lennox, right? And when he took me to Lennox, I was like, I couldn't believe that shit. He said, man, come on, we out. I said, no.
What was so unbelievable about Lennox to you?
I never forget, I had my tea. I stood out front of Lennox. Because when I came out of Lennox, I seen black people going to cars, but I'm like, is that valet? Like, that's dude car? This was the first time I seen black success on a whole nother level in my life. Because I come from a city where it's poverty stricken. You know,
Right.
the East Coast, you know, Philly is poverty. So I'm like, hold up. Another person get what? I'm like, so I'm standing there and I'm just like, I can't, I'm just so lost to see this much success. People coming out of these shopping, they got, I'm like, where the fuck is all these cars coming from? Is these cars plated? Like, how is this shit hot?
Most of them were stolen.
Listen,
Everybody was stolen.
but listen,
They flipped
I'm
numbers.
sitting there and I'm saying to myself, like, Atlanta, in 2017, Atlanta was different than what it is now. It was totally different. That was before the influx of people came down here.
Right,
it was just,
right.
it was a beautiful place. People getting money. I'm seeing people telling people, damn, that's some nice sneaks you got. I'm like, hold up. People talking, what the fuck is going on? I'm a little lost because the hospitality, the mannerism, the respect, just showing people love, that wasn't, so I'm just.
But you from the city of brotherly love.
That's the name. So it's like, that's the name. It's a good people there, but it's like shit happened. But it was like, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, this shit is unbelievable. It was so motivational, and I needed to see that because what Atlanta did for me is what a lot of people need, and they don't get a chance to see when they come home.
What's that?
Atlanta washed my eyes.
Washed your eyes.
When I came home and I was back in Philly, it was foggy. Because poverty made it foggy.
Right.
But when I came here, it was a splash to say, look at this. All this is possible. Everything is possible. So I was like, it's on. So every time I came back, I used to be down in Atlanta, like,
Man.
just soaking it up.
Listening to you talk, man, it just makes me realize certain shit. Like, one, you paid $45,000 for somebody to have a lawyer and be able to free themselves from bondage after being locked up. How long they been in there?
Chip been locked up about he probably been down like anywhere from 14 to 16 years.
God
Him and his
damn.
brother.
Okay, so just imagine how many people who could come home if they just could afford the attorneys to do the work, file the papers, and just get them in front of somebody who could see it and see that there's been a travesty of justice.
Yeah.
That there's been a mistake made. That shit, this shit is mind-boggling.
Because I think me and this dude used to share food. So it was like, and he used to be, what was so crazy about Chip, what I love about Chip is that Chip was, I never forget when he came to the cell, he was like, because we had the MP3 players, he was like, yo, you got to hear this John, man, this boy. Because I used to talk to people in the yard and be, just talking to people. He the first dude to ever let me hear Les Brown. Because Jeezy came out with an album and he had the song, When My, and he had Les Brown on there. He was like, Wallo, man, that's how you be talking to. I was like, damn. So I didn't even know the possibility that it was people like Les. So once I heard that, I went on the tab and got everything that Les was talking, and I was like, damn, he like, you do be talking to people, so but you talking to hood, John, where it's more receptive from us. So that was why I really started on Instagram going in.
Right.
Speaking more, you know what I mean, when I first came home from prison. But Chip
just
was
like that.
Yes, Chip was the one that showed me them. So, and Chip was always like, man, you gonna go out there. And I used to tell Chip all type of crazy shit that I wanted to do. And he'd be like, I know you're gonna do it, homie. He was one of them dudes.
Now, what made you? Because I remember, because that when I found you know, or became aware you was on Instagram. Yeah. When you have you be in the hood, and you had a camera like far away,
and I run up
and
on
then you just walk up talking.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean, about 30, 45 seconds, give some game, and then you say it's just like that, and then walk off. Yeah. So that's a style of direction. What led to that?
I knew I needed a tagline, and I knew I needed to battle with the attention. Because a lot of times you ain't just see me that, you see me running to it.
Right.
You might see me on the ground.
I seen you doing push-ups in the rain.
You see all that shit. Because I did it in Atlanta. Because what happened was I had to. This whole thing is about, when I was in jail, I studied commercials and I studied marketing, and I realized that most of commercials is made for marketing agencies. Because I used to love commercials. My son used to be like, why are you always watching commercials? I'm like, no, hold up. Why they got Mary J playing in this joint? He's targeting the African American community. Because that same joint on the Spanish channel, they got that same commercial, but it's somebody in Spanish. Oh, okay. So who done that? Why that Big Mac look like that? My Big Mac never looked like that in life. Oh, that's an ad agency that they pay to do this commercial.
Right.
I read a book called Damn Good Advice by George Lois. George Lois, one of the greatest ad men in the history of life. They did this TV show Mad Men about him. This dude did Muhammad Ali ads with Muhammad Ali like this with the arrows on. George Lois did. So I just started studying marketing, and at that moment in jail, I realized you got God, then you got marketing. Marketing come before family. The reason marketing come before family because you got God and then you got marketing. Marketing is everything that somebody told you in your life, what you believe, how you eat, your religion. It was marketed to you by somebody. So I realized, oh shit, I'm gonna be a marketer. Marketers dictate everything. The marketing, like you gotta understand, more money is spent on marketing than anything.
Right.
Like marketing is how you find out everything, is how you know everything. It was marketed to you based off of the community you're from.
People don't even understand. That's why people getting paid off streams. That's where the podcast money come from.
Marketing.
That's where the motherfucker who doing the streaming, what is it? The shit on Kick.
Kicking it, yeah. Twitch and all the kind, all them,
all that shit is because of ads.
Yup, ad dollars.
You know what I mean?
YouTube, ad dollars.
Yeah, all
commercials,
that shit.
And when I came in the game early in the podcast, I used to tell dudes, because dudes were like, why they got them ads on? I don't like the ads on.
Nigga, that's the money.
Like, bro, for the commercial, we watch ads our whole life. When we watched the Cosbys, when we watched Days of Our Lives,
right.
with General Hospital.
And we didn't get none of the money.
No, you had to watch the ads.
Right.
And so it was like you learn that, and then reading up at the same time, understanding legendary people like Byron Allen and what he did. Shout out to him. He just knocked McDonald's in the head.
He knocked them for some bees, didn't he?
Yeah, because they was playing with the advertising money when it was concerning black content.
Right.
And he went in there and handled his business. And shout out to Charlemagne. Charlemagne put me on the phone with Byron. And Byron told me this. He said, Wallo, he said, you got everything that you need right now. He said, there's trillions of dollars out there looking for a home. He said, the content, because, Charlemagne called him one time. I was like, I got to talk to Byron. We talked. He's like, the content that you got, the team that you got, the lack of, you don't need a big overhead. He said, listen, I want you to take your content. You already own the IP, and I want you to place it. I want you to park your content everywhere with different companies like the NFL. He said, because what that's going to do, that's going to make everybody else want to deal with you.
Right.
He said, you notice how the NFL is everywhere. They got a bunch of logos. They park. He said, long as you do that and continue to grow your stuff, you're going to be cool. Don't worry about nothing. It's trillions of dollars looking for a home. You're going to be all right. So it was like understanding what Byron doing, understanding ads is everything. This is not, you don't have a show if you don't have no advertising. Where's the money coming from? I want to start off by...
Tell me about it. All right. There you go, Wallo. As I said, I'm going to do a little bit more investigation on that individual. They had a whole interview that was the part on the penitentiary, but they went on for an hour and some change. Perhaps I'll get into some more of it because I wanted him to continue about what he was about to say before Tip had cut him off. Tip did let him speak throughout the interview, but he was saying how when he came to Atlanta, how he had started to hustle and all that, and how he was about to explain how he came back and basically how he got started. But clearly, an intelligent individual, motivated, strong. Obviously, he said he started off on Instagram just giving little talks. He just talked there about marketing, but essentially he came home with a plan, or he was asked, "Well, did you have a plan?" he said he really did not have a plan other than he just knew he wasn't going back to prison. His plan was to stay out of prison. But he just knew that he was going to be successful in doing something. He started selling T-shirts out there in Atlanta, etc. Now he is whatever he is. I'm still not sure. I'm still unclear. I'm going to have to go and do some investigation, but apparently he's a bit famous now and clearly successful in whatever it is that he's doing. He's been home for however long now. He did 20 years in prison, but he survived it. And again, I believe he talked about some before in prior interviews about his prison experience. I don't know how deep he got into it, but I do know that he at least mentioned it before. Pretty insightful, intellectual conversation, I would say. I like the fact that he was studying while he was in prison. He was reading, and when he say Anthony Bourdain, he really got a lot of his motivation from him. Once he seen that he was an ex-addict, but he's now out and extremely successful, then he said that I can do it. And he was determined to get out and do it. And clearly, he's been doing just that. He believes that the individuals there in the hood, in the ghetto, in the catacombs and grottos here in America do not have enough exposure, has not seen the world at large to know that it's more than this, than just this, that we've been living right here in the hood. And there is more to life than the hood. Well, he's being successful, man. That's all of our goals. That's our primary goal. That's our objective, is to be successful, particularly leaving a situation like prison with everyone counting you out. For those who are in that situation, such as myself, such as Wallo, and many others, such as Tip, stay determined. That's it. Stay determined. Think before you act and stay determined. Speaking to myself as well about thinking before I act. I'm going to stay determined. Because a lot of this stuff, you have to be careful. Stay focused. I had to check myself last night about some of the content I've been running, how this stuff can lead me back to prison if I'm not careful dealing with some of these internet dudes. For real. So, we have to be smart and be careful, man. Shout out to Tip. Shout out to Wallo. I'm going to get into some more of their content, get into some more of Wallo. I'm interested now to know his story, like in full, in depth. I want to know his story. Exactly what he did when he got out to become successful. Yes, it's motivational for me as well. I want to know his story. I can learn from anyone. Stay safe and stay free, people.